as a broader feature of changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be benefit to local communities. They believe that globalization, dominant form of social organization, will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment will lead to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for values which treat global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibilities, although rejected as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society became less by increasingly homogeneous global culture, well, more firmly incorporated into the system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an international system of world trade. The complexity of globalism came from the different ways in which globalization is approached. Some areas embrace it enthusiastically as a positive feature of changing world, in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be benefits to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of globalism environment will lead to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for values which treat global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility, although rejected as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individuals' distinctions of culture and society become erased by an increasingly homogeneous global culture. Into capital. For this group, globalism is a global doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interactive system of world trade. Part of the complexity of globalism comes from different ways in which globalization is approached. Some areas embrace it enthusiastically as a passive feature of changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will benefit to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment will lead to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for values which treats global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility, although rejected as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society become less by increasingly homogeneous global culture. For local economy are more firmly incorporated into the system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interacting system of world trade. Number three, part of the complexity of globalism comes from the different way in which globalization is approached. Some analysts embrace it enthusiastically as a positive feature of changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be benefit to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment will lead to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for value which treats global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others reject it as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society became realized by increasingly homogeneous global culture. For the global economy are more firmly incorporated into a system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a particular doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interlinking system of world trade. Social markets of benefits to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment will lead to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for value which treats global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others reject it as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society become erased by an increasingly homogeneous global culture, while local economy are more firmly incorporated into a system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interacting system of world trade. Number three, part of the complexity of globalism come from different ways in which globalization is approached. Some analysts embrace it as a positive future in a changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be benefits to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant firm social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect protection of global environment then the ecological concern for this group, globalism is a term from values which treats global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others reject it as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which their distinction culture and society equalize begin increasing homogeneous global culture. A regular economy more firmly incorporated into a system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an international system of world trade. In conclusion to the approach, some analysts embrace the security as a positive future in a changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will benefit the local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant forms in social organization will lead the universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment will lead global ecological concern. For this group, globalism therefore, term value illustrates global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibilities. Others reject it as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society become erased by increasingly homogeneous global culture. A regular economy more firmly incorporated into a system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies interlinking system of world trade. Parallel Semiologists embrace it enthusiastically as a passive future of a changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be benefits to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the protection of global environment will lead to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for values which treat global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others, it rejected as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society became erased by an increasingly homogeneous global culture, while local economy are more firmly incorporated into the system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interacting system when world trade. Part of the complexity of globalism came from different ways in which globalization is approached. Some analysts embrace it enthusiastically as a passive future of a changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be benefit to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment will raise global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for values which treats global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others reject it as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society became raised by increasing homogeneous global culture, a local economy, are more firmly incorporated into the system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interacting system of world trade. Number three, value complexity of globalism counter different ways in which the globalization is approached. Some analysts embrace it enthusiastically as a positive future of a changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will be a benefit to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form social organization will lead to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They may expect the perception of global environment will raise global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is termed from value. It treats global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others reject it from domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society become erased by increasingly homogeneous global culture. A regular economy, with no family, incorporated into a system of global capital. For this group, globalism is a mathematical doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an interconnecting system of world trade. Part part of the complexity of globalism comes from different ways in which globalization is approached. Some analysts embrace it enthusiastically as a positive feature of changing world in which access to technology, information, services, and markets will benefit to local communities. They believe that by globalization, dominant form of social organization They relate to universal prosperity, peace, and freedom. They even expect the perception of global environment be related to global ecological concern. For this group, globalism is a term for values which treat global issues as a matter of personal and collective responsibility. Others reject it as a form of domination by advanced countries over developing ones, in which individual distinction of culture and society became replaced by increasingly homogeneous global culture, while local economy are more firmly incorporated into system global capital. For this group, globalism is a political doctrine which provides, explains, and justifies an international system of world trade.